And we're back. So today we're going to do another one of our Taiga Omega's challenges that he did on his channel recently. He did ECM tanks versus a hard AI. Now for this one we're going to pick the same enemy faction and the same map, which was Winding River and Air Force General. Will be in the top right corner, same as our Taiga. Difference here, we're going to play as the Tank General. So our Taiga played as Infantry General because he wanted super hackers to generate the cash more quickly so then he could build an army of ECMs. I have a different strategy in mind, so we'll go right into it and I'll explain everything as we go. Okay, so starting off, we've got 3 dozers getting built from our command center. Our very first dozer is going to go into the bottom left corner of the map, so this is going to be a dozer rush type of strategy that we're going for. Now the second dozer, we're going to use the Clear Mines hotkey to go through the command center. So for anyone that doesn't know, using the Clear Mines hotkey, you can go through buildings, plus you can increase the movement speed of your dozers as well. So that's why I'm doing it with the other dozers too. So with doing a dozer rush strategy for this one, it's only really going to work if the Air Force General helps me by using missile-based weaponry. So Patriots, missile defenders, Comanches, that type of thing. Because the ECM tanks, they can't do anything offensively. They can only deflect missile fire and disable enemy vehicles. So we really do need the help from the Air Force General. Now in regards to my dozers, I got the dozers moving over to the small resource piles on the map. And the reason why I'm doing that is because I want to cut down on the travel time. I do like to have the increased rate of collection with the resources, but I don't need that fast rate of collection for the entirety of the battle. So I'm happy just getting that fast speed for, you know, the early and mid game, and then I can rely on my other 2 resource piles for the other half of the battle, if that all makes sense. Because the ECM tanks, I'm not going to need that many in the long run. Now with my dozer at the bottom there, I ended up using the Clear Mines hotkey to go to the resource pile on the far left. I've also got a second dozer on the way there too. I want to move one of them there to get the prop center up because that's flat terrain, so it's easier to build, and then the other one can get my 4th supply center up. Meanwhile, the dozer in the bottom left corner can get the war factory up too. So now it's just the waiting game. We got to wait on our cash to get to 2k, and I'm just hovering over that dozer, just waiting for the right moment for that prop center icon to show up. Bang, done. So once we have our 4th supply center up and running, that's going to be all the supply centers we need for the battle. Our other 2 are going to dry up, of course, because they're smaller. But the 2 big ones, that's all we're really going to need to get our remaining buildings out and getting the ECMs we need to get the win. So we've saved up 2k, which is going to be enough for a second war factory. I'm going to hotkey my war factories to number 1 and number 2. Now number 1 is going to get parts near the command center, and the other is going to go off to the right. Now reason why I've done that is because the number 1 hotkeyed war factory, I want my ECMs to hug the side of the CC, and the other path I want to disable a dozer that I know is going to try and build up buildings. So I want to basically slow down the Air Force General's production. Meanwhile, our dozer, he's built the war factory, so we're going to build a speaker tower next. So with speaker tower, we'll be able to heal up our ECM tanks, meaning they'll be able to take more damage from the missile defenders or whatever other missile-based unit they use against me. So like I said before, the ECM there, it's disabled that dozer, stopped him from building the war factory, so happy days there. Now with my other ECM tanks, we're getting them into position, hugging that CC. Now here's the thing, they're building missile defenders. And there's a reason why they're doing that. So the AI thinks that missile defenders is the best possible course of action to destroy my ECM tanks. So that's how the AI works. They're scripted to build the thing they think is best to use against whatever it is you're building. So they're thinking, oh, he's got vehicles out. I better build some missile defenders because it's vehicles, because missile defenders versus vehicles is often going to mean the missile defenders win. So I hope that makes sense. They're making moves as a response to the moves that I'm making during the battle. Now another thing to add on to that is that they're making a responsive move with the tools that they currently have. They don't have a war factory or an airfield, so the best course of action for them is to do a missile defender spam. And missile defenders versus ECMs, I mean, they can still destroy the ECMs, it's just going to take longer. Especially because I've got a speaker tower up that's fully upgraded as well, and my ECM tanks are Vet 1. So that's another reason why I went for Tank General. The ECMs start off as Vet 1s, meaning they should have more HP when they come out of the war factory. And that also means they'll take more of a beating from those missile defenders. So with our ECM tanks, I'm just continuing to line them up, hugging that side of the CC, and we'll be able to destroy the CC. And I've got one ECM that's still disabled one of the dozers. I am going to run over these ranges too, because they could damage my ECM tanks. Now, with my ECMs, I'm alt-pathing them around the dozer that I've disabled. And reason being is because these guys can't deflect missile fire and disable vehicles at the same time, and if I leave them stationary, then they'll just start disabling the nearest vehicle within range. Now, I did make one small mistake. The missile defenders got distracted by other ECM tanks I had out, so I did divert them away from the target being the dozer. And I hoped that I could get rid of the barracks. That's why I decided, okay, we'll just shift our attention to the barracks and then we'll focus on the dozer again. But yeah, couldn't get the barracks out of the way, so they've moved on back to the dozer. We get rid of that dozer, and now we're going to go right back to the barracks again. Now, they do have 2 dozers for this, and the other dozer is trying to build up another barracks. And that's going to be another thing to talk about, is the barracks position is different playing as Tank General compared to Infantry General like Artega did. When Artega did the challenge, the barracks was there, the one that just got destroyed, and there was another one behind it diagonally. Whereas if you play as Tank General, he has that one barracks plus another one that's next to the supply center. So there's going to be some subtle differences depending on which faction of China you play as, but the same strategy should work as any flavor of China. It just means you'll have to make a few tweaks to, you know, how you move your ECMs around. And that's the last dozer destroyed, so we're just going to wait on the Air Force General to sell off. They've got no other production buildings. That barracks scaffold doesn't count because it can't churn any infantry out. There we go. So that is how I did Artega's challenge of ECMs only versus a hard AI. So if you enjoyed this one, leave a like, comment, subscribe. I do have a playlist if you want to check out any of my other content. Thank you to our members, Renova Straight and Justice 69 and Jara 2611. Thank you to Artega as well. I'm Crackalo, and I shall see you in the next one. Bye.